Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's pick a card reading. My voice is a little bit rough, but I filmed everything yesterday, so I should sound fine in the readings. Today we're looking into the realizations the person on your mind has had about you and your connection, and we have 3 piles to choose from, piles 1, 2, and 3. I also filmed extended readings for every single pile, and in the extended reading, we are looking into the future actions of the person on your mind within this connection. And we're getting a lot more channeled messages than we are in the main reading. And we're also getting advice for you. So yeah, if you feel like checking it out, you can find the links for that down below somewhere. I'll put it somewhere there. So you'll definitely see it. And do I have anything else to say? Yes, I decided to do another giveaway. No theme, I just felt like it. So if you would like to win a 1-question personal reading with me, you can enter the giveaway by commenting on this video or any other video I post until the end, until the deadline for the giveaway. I'm not sure when that's going to be yet, but I will have figured it out by the time I post this video. So you can find all the information on that also in the description box somewhere below. And one final thing I will say is I am still booking personal readings. If you would like to book with me, you can find all the links for that also somewhere down below. But yes, with all of these reminders of things out of the way, I can stop talking now and let you focus on which pile cost you the most, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized or what they're realizing about you and your connection. And we also have an extended for today's reading. It will be my first time doing extendeds. I've wanted to try for some time, so I thought I may as well do it now. So let me know how you feel about extendeds, if you feel like it. In the extended, we'll be looking into the future actions of the person on your mind based on the realizations that they're having now or the realizations that they've just had. And we will also get a lot of channeled messages and some advice for you as well on how to deal with the incoming energies. But yes, let's get into your reading now. You don't have to watch the extended, of course, if you don't feel like it. It is completely optional, and so is this reading. So, okay, we are starting off with number 13, Fellowship. We also have Masculine. We have Trine. We have 8th house, endings and beginnings. Scorpio energy could be significant, or Scorpio season. We have unconditional love. Honesty. I can't always expect a truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. We have a new start is coming. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. We have Firefly. And we have Black Egg. And we are almost in Capricorn season as I am filming this. So Capricorn season or Capricorn could also be significant, but it doesn't have to be. And for most of you, this feels like there has been a separation, or you could currently be in separation with this person, because it feels like in this person's perception, there is this upcoming opportunity to change something within this connection. The biggest realization they seem to have had is that this connection will be a part of their life for some time, quite some time. And it is something that almost feels fated. Even if this person doesn't quite have an understanding of what they even mean by fated, there's something about this, it seems, that makes it feel destined, like you will always cross paths, or you were meant to learn something from each other and you're meant to learn more. I think this is someone who is very drawn to you and someone that you have a lot of chemistry with. This connection could have been very triggering as much as it has also instigated healing in both of you. This person has had to face maybe the darkest shadows that they've had. Feels like they've had to face parts of themselves that they hadn't seen before, that they hadn't noticed before. And this whole connection to them, they realize that it's been a big learning experience. And that's not to say that they're writing this connection off as just that, because it does feel like there is still energy flowing into this connection on this person's end. There is a lot of caring, loving energy towards you. We have this unconditional love card, and it makes me think of not just unconditional love or a very strong love that runs between the two of you, but it also makes me think of self-love. I think this person has learned the skill of loving themselves indirectly, or maybe even directly, through this connection. Like through your interactions, through the time you spent together, through the things you've said, through what they've seen from you, through lessons that you've been learning as well, and maybe talking to them about, or things that they can observe in you. The realization here, it also seems to connect to the fact, the understanding that they can make things happen. Things are not as out of control as they may seem to be. And things may not even feel that unpredictable to this person, especially when it comes to this connection, because it feels like there is some level of intuition that they feel towards you, even if they don't call it intuition, even if they call it like a gut feeling, even if they call it just a normal feeling. I feel like they have this idea, this sense of knowing that their path will lead back to you, or their path has led them back to you too many times. And I don't mean this necessarily in the physical sense. It could also just be that they see a lot of signs around your connection. It could be that they hear songs that remind them of you. It could be that they see your name, even if it's a very unusual name. But there is a sense that this connection will continue its presence in their life. And I get the sense that this person, they're comforted by it, even if they don't quite understand all the reasons why, or how all of this works, or what they should do next. But there is a sense of responsibility that this person feels towards this connection, also towards their past actions within this connection, towards how they've shown up in this connection up until this point, because they might feel like they haven't shown you their best sides. They could have felt quite triggered by certain conversations in this connection, or certain moments that you've had together. And it almost feels like they feel that they could do better, they could show you better, they could improve. And I think this acceptance of their own potential isn't something that possibly comes easily to this person. Like they've had to convince themselves that things can work out for them, or that they can improve, that they have potential to do better. They could come from a difficult upbringing. They could have had a lot of factors or even caregivers that kind of worked against them, or that they felt were working against them. And this is someone who's taking control of their own life. And in the past, I get the sense for some of you that in the past, this person could have tried to take too much control of their life and kind of ended up sabotaging things or ending things prematurely just so they have control over how it ends. This could apply to your connection as well. They could have sabotaged the connection in a way where it was something like, oh, you know, intimate connections don't work out for me. I'm definitely going to mess this up anyway, so I may as well tell pile one now that I can't do this, I'm not ready for this, because otherwise we're both going to get really hurt. So they could have taken control in some version of this narrative. But it feels like this person is realizing that they don't need to have that much control over things, but that things are also not as out of control as they may seem. And I feel like this gives them a sense of comfort, a sense of acceptance, a sense of peace, not just towards this connection, but towards other aspects of their life as well. It feels like their energy has relaxed a bit more. Like they're becoming more confident, or they have become more confident. Let's get into the tarot. I'm curious to see what else will come through. It feels like this person has had the opportunity to connect with their own self on a very deep level in the aftermath of this connection. It feels like you've inspired them in some way. And like you've given them an opportunity, a safe space where they can get to know themselves. Even if like you haven't been with this person physically for a long time, I think your influence on them has been huge. What has... Ooh. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Emperor. Aries energy could be significant, as well as Aries season. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. In the past, they could have been intimidated by the intensity of your energy and the intensity of your connection. Maybe it's not the best way to put it when I say the intensity of your energy, because it's not like you were, I'm not saying you were too much or anything of that sort, but I think this person just felt too many things all at once, and it seems to have freaked them out in the past. Like they may have felt very overwhelmed by their own feelings for you, and they could have attempted to take control of the situation and their own feelings in the past by kind of making a decision that may have seemed logic-based at the time. And maybe it was logic-based. Maybe it was the logical thing to do. I lost my train of thought. I think this is someone who also gets in their head a lot, like a lot of rumination. They may tend to overthink or overanalyze things, situations, how they come off, how you feel about them. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse, and we have the Empress in reverse. they feel like they have confused you too much. So maybe they've been hot and cold. Like they realize something inconsistent about their own actions that they seem to be in the process of accepting instead of judging themselves for these actions, for the past version of themselves that I don't know, I'm getting very strong self-sabotage energy. Like neither of you wanted this connection to end and both of you ended up getting hurt. But this person realizes, and I'm not saying that this is like the objective truth, that it needed to have happened in the particular way it happened, but they seem to have the realization that it happened the way it was supposed to. What happened was for the best, even if it wasn't fun to experience it, even if it wasn't easy, even if it hurt both of you a lot. Taurus and Libra energies could also be significant, but they don't have to be. We have the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups, they definitely feel very lucky to have met you. But again, it ties back to this feeling of feeling like it was fated. Like they had to meet you. And it wouldn't have worked any other way. Their life path wouldn't have been the right one if they hadn't crossed paths with you in the past. We have the High Priestess. Cancer energy could be significant. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. There is this realization, which I think has been present since the beginning, but now I can't remember if I said anything about it. Because this is kind of a chaotic energy, which is why I feel like this is someone who thinks a lot and maybe overthinks quite a bit. Like there's a lot of rumination, a lot of repeating the same thoughts, a lot of reassessing, a lot of trying to understand, trying to make the best of the information that they have, trying to take the best out of the information that they have, in the sense that I think this is someone who always looks for a lesson, always looks for a way that they can improve themselves from their own experiences. This is someone who's very growth oriented. And I don't know if they've always been this way or if this is also something that they kind of got to practice a lot through this connection and then implemented into different areas of their life. But they're very, very growth oriented. And they, going back to what I started with, there is this realization that the ball is in their court. Like, it feels like it's all coming together. They have the realization that this connection is something that they want more of in their life if they can help it. They have the realization that the ball is in their court, that they have more control over their life than they may have felt like before. And this sense of responsibility and this connectedness that they feel towards you, it feels like it's all kind of coming together to produce some kind of action plan on their end. Which is pretty great because, well, I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but because the extended is going to be about their future actions, I feel like that's pretty on point. Pretty relevant. Yes, let's clarify the Ten of Wands. We have the World in reverse. They realize that their business with you is unfinished. But again, I think this is someone who maybe daydreams a lot or gets distracted by you and thoughts of your connection a lot. And it doesn't feel like this is normal for them, in the sense that I don't think this is typical behavior on their part. I don't think this is someone who's unfocused. I don't think this is someone who necessarily daydreams a lot. I think they're quite practical and realistic and kind of usually not like this. And maybe that's why this connection feels so different to them, because you highlight parts of this person that they don't get to experience very often. I also got the deck, and we have the Ten of Cups and the Three of Cups. You make this person very happy. It feels like they've had the time of their life with you, even if it wasn't very long. Even if your connection was only for a month and then things kind of started falling apart. And this is someone who realizes that they're coming to have more space for that kind of happiness in their life again. Maybe that's a weird way to put it, but that's how it's coming through. We have death here as well. So Scorpio energy is coming through again, but most important of all, this is about transformations. It's about growth. It's about endings and beginnings, which I think all of these are themes that really apply to this connection. This person feels like they've seen your soul, like they've seen parts of you that are not visible to the naked eye, that are maybe not even visible to most people. Like they seem to recognize you on a soul level, which is, I think, something this person does not feel very often, if at all. So it may be quite an intense feeling for them to make sense of and for them to deal with. Well, let's get some channeled messages. I hear like a lion roaring in my head. So I feel called to say Leo energy could be significant. We have, I don't know what your intentions are. For some of you, this may be someone you haven't talked to in a long time, and they may have no idea where you're at right now. We have, I feel very connected to you. Something did a little flip, but I think it just flipped back in. We'll see if it wants to come out. What message wants to come through? Okay, I just saw I'm unsure of my feelings for you right now, but it flipped back in. So I will let it be. We'll make note of it, but let's see if it comes back out again. We have healing. Okay. This is giving me the sense that for some of you, this person could not be at this point of having had all of these realizations yet, but they could still be in the process of maybe even healing from the loss of this connection, depending on where you might be on your journey with them. But they could still be in the middle of kind of getting to a point where they're able to have these realizations. And if that's the case, they could be questioning their feelings for you and questioning kind of the entire connection itself and its place in their life. So I don't think that will apply to every single one of you. And the way it's kind of flipped out and then back in especially makes me feel like it's important to mention, but that's also not kind of the majority, what the majority needs to hear maybe, or where the majority is at right now. I'm trying to be logical about this. I feel really vulnerable. I need to figure out who I really am. We have intuition. We have music. So synchronicities, again, could be significant to this connection, or they could be seeing a lot of synchronicities related to you. And we also have, I really care about you. And this just for me confirms that this is someone who values their own growth. This is someone who pours a lot of energy into their own self, into their own path, into kind of learning as much as they can. But yes, let's get some advice. To finish off your reading, I'm just going to get a heart and soul card, and in the extended we will go more in depth into the advice as well. We have, you are currently too close to see things clearly. Detach a little and you will start to see things from a higher perspective. By emotionally detaching from this situation, a simple solution also becomes clear. And we also have, you are a living work of art, a most sacred and eternal being, a multidimensional field of energy with no beginning or end. You're a floating island of consciousness, swimming within a cosmic sea of love. Live the dream, dare to be extraordinary. I'm really drawn to the whys. It's like, why? Why? A lot of questioning in their energy, and maybe in yours as well. You could be questioning why this connection is happening, why things happened the way that they did. And maybe through all of that, really trying to see all the details, maybe you're missing the big picture. Maybe you're missing, like, the thing you really need to see, because you're just standing way too close to the painting to see the big story that it's trying to tell you. I feel like that sounds a bit cryptic. I hope not, but is there anything else that wants to come through? And honestly, I don't blame you if you're confused by this connection. I think anyone would be. It does feel like, it feels like very intense, very overwhelming energy. So I think, if anything, it's very, very normal to be wondering why or trying to understand it better. We also have, as the seasons of life turn, remember your life and all your experiences are driven by the invisible wheels of love. Life is an eternal ocean, and death and rebirth are the rising and falling of the same wave. Attached to every ending is a new beginning. Interesting, because we also had death popping out, and we also had the endings and beginnings card from the Black Moon Astrology deck. So that seems to be a theme in this connection itself, endings and beginnings. But yes, this is all I have for you. I'll maybe see you in the extended, maybe not, up to you. But I wish you a wonderful day, and take care, and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized, or what they're realizing about you and your connection as we speak. There is also an extended reading today. It's my first time doing it, so let me know how you feel about it if you feel like letting me know. But yeah, in the extended, we will be looking into the future actions of the person on your mind based on the realizations that are coming through today, essentially. We'll be getting a whole lot more channeled messages, but we'll also be getting channeled messages in the main reading. And we will also get advice on how to deal with the incoming energies of your connection. But yes, let's get into it. We have extended family to start off your reading. We have the Sun. Leo energy could be significant. We also have Scorpio. We have air element, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We have let go. We have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. We have the starfish, the stingray. We have full moon in Pisces, balance, spirituality, and practicality. And we also have the South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. The main realization that this person has had is that they have let their past and their past trauma, maybe their childhood, just essentially energies that extend way beyond this connection itself, to affect this connection, the outcome of this connection, and how they show up in this connection, which on its own may not seem like a very big realization, but I also feel like this person could be someone who is not necessarily the most open to feeling their feelings. They may be someone who tends to repress what they're feeling and someone who tries to rationalize their feelings. They may be someone who is a little bit more disconnected from their emotional body, from their own self, though the degree of that will be different for every single one of you. And for some of you, I feel called to say that this person may not be there yet, where they're having these realizations around self-awareness, and where they're having these realizations about their own self, they may be quite closed off to kind of working with these energies. But for most of you, and you will know your person best and what their tendencies are, but for most of you, I feel like there is acknowledgement that they have messed up in some way, in some serious way in this connection, and it has led to either you ending the connection yourself, or this person having to walk away or messing things up to a point where the connection could not be salvaged, at least in their perspective. But there is some level of awakening in terms of this person seeing their shadows for the very first time, and also possibly not quite knowing what to do with this awareness yet. But it feels like they're coming to realize that they weren't able to offer you a deeper connection, not because the two of you are not compatible, not because of something you said, not because of something you did, because in the past they may have had doubts around like why they're not able to connect on a deeper level or go deeper, or you could have questioned this. but they seem to see that it ties back to what's been going on within them rather than because of an external, unrelated factor. They're realizing that it ties back to what's going on in them, that the external chaos, the external frustrations have been a reflection of what they've been feeling on the inside. And that it's not that their inner world is like very peaceful, accepting, they're doing great, but situations don't seem to work out for them, or this connection seemed to not work out for them. But it is that there was chaos within them. There was something uncomfortable, something unrecognized, something ignored, something frustrating or irritating or painful, or all of it at once, that was affecting their external world as well. They're realizing that there is no balance in their physical world and no balance in their internal world, and these ideas are not unconnected. This person realizes that there are certain habits or beliefs in their own energy about their own self that they have to let go of. But they may not be at a point yet where they've let go of all of these limitations, these beliefs about their own self, because their energy feels a bit more closed off, like they're grieving almost, like there's been a loss, or they've at least come to realize that something has been lost. And for most of you, this will be related to the connection itself and how things may have not worked out in the way that they thought it would. But this is someone who felt very nurtured by you. Especially with this like extended family energy, this person could be a family member, but for most of you, I feel like it's not. It's just someone who felt very nurtured and familiar with you, but then again, not as comfortable as they could have been. But that's because they were battling their own demons rather than like something caused by you or your energy or some kind of core incompatibility. It feels more like their past experiences made them closed to seeing certain perspectives or certain truths about their own self or how they show up in relationships, or their past experiences made them fearful of being vulnerable or being authentic. Maybe they never had an opportunity to experience these energies growing up. Maybe they never received support. And it doesn't have to relate to their parents necessarily. It could also relate to past relationships they've had, friendships they've had, interactions they've had. But it feels like their past experiences have taught them things about their own self and their own potential, and that these things are not true necessarily. Like they never tested them again because they just started avoiding certain situations, or they started avoiding confrontations, or they started avoiding their emotions. They do seem to have an avoidant streak for most of you. And they could be coming to realize that this is part of how they sabotage themselves as well, that they avoid things when they get difficult, or they tell themselves that they're not strong enough to face things, or take responsibility for certain things, or feel certain emotions. It feels like they've limited themselves a lot. They've limited how much they allowed their own self to get to know their own self, or how much they allowed themselves to be their own self. It's quite a complicated energy. I think this is someone who has a lot to figure out in terms of their own situation with their own self, in terms of their own relationship with their own self. It feels very like they haven't nurtured it too much. They haven't put a lot of energy into developing a connection with their own self. And I think this is one of the most important things, if not the single most important thing for us, because you are the only person that needs to spend 100% of your, you need to spend 100% of your time with yourself. Even if you're with other people, at the same time, you are always with yourself. You're not going anywhere. So I think it's very important to cultivate our own relationship with our own self. And I think this is a realization that they are slowly building up to. And this path is also shedding light onto how they have not shown up authentically in this connection with you. They may come to realize that they really hurt you, even if that wasn't their intention. I don't feel like any damage that they may have caused you was intentional. But I'm also not saying this as like, just like go easy on them, like let it go, forgive it without any explanation. I'm not saying anything along those lines. You will know what sits right with you. But my best advice for you would be to feel any reaction that comes up to what happened in this situation. Whether that's anger, frustration, sadness, all of it at once. You don't need to react a certain way. And you are not obliged to make this person comfortable. You're not obliged to make yourself smaller to accommodate someone else's feelings. And this person's well-being is their own responsibility. Their healing is their own responsibility. It is a choice that they have to make to connect with their own self, to take responsibility for their own healing. You can't force them to. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't have to. And in the meantime, know that there is no correct way to show up in this situation or to react to this situation. If you're going through a separation, even if this person has hurt you, for example, you don't have to unlove them. It's not wrong to have loved them. It was just an experience. It was just what it was, or what it is. But there is no right or wrong way to feel about things or to react to things. Now let's get into the tarot and get into this energy a bit more. And we will get into the advice more as well in the extended. But I kind of just felt like saying it, that I felt like it may be relevant for someone. But if not, also feel free to just ignore my babbling. Okay, we have 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse. There seems to be a lot of turmoil within this person's energy. And there may have been certain illusions that they were in about their own self or about how they're perceived, about how they show up. Some inconsistencies in their actions and in what they're saying. It feels like all of these are kind of highlighted to them now, especially in the wake of the separation between the two of you. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse and the 2 of Cups in reverse. So this separation seems to have been very triggering for this person in terms of them becoming more self-aware. And it may have brought back some past pain for them as well that they haven't dealt with. But it almost feels like it's too much at this point, that it's all overflowing and it's creating a lot of heavy weights that they recognize that they can't carry with them forever. But they also may not just yet know how to deal with these, what the best course of action would be. We have the 10, we have the 8 of Swords, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Emperor. I think this is someone who is trying to put on a brave face right now and kind of just not appear weak, not because it just feels like they don't feel comfortable enough to feel their emotions for what they are, or to show their emotions for what they really are. Like someone's always out to get them. There's almost a sense that someone's always out to get them, so they have to be careful. There's a lot of caution in their energy. But I think they're realizing that while they can't change the past, and they can't change the past of this connection, they get a say in the future of it, possibly. Of course, a connection is something that goes both ways, and just them wanting something is not enough to make it happen. But there is this, like, feeling of growing acceptance that the past is what it is. It's happened. It can't be changed anymore. They may have had very difficult experiences, but now it's up to them to decide what they make of these experiences, and how much of it and what parts of their past experiences they bring into the future with them. Because they don't have to carry all of it. They don't have to relive everything, or they don't have to keep everything locked up in a big chest that they carry with them wherever they go. So I feel like there are big realizations around their kind of own healing journey, and how much of it they've kind of neglected, or how the work that they've been doing has maybe not been the serious chunk of work, but it's just been surface level things that are easier to deal with. But it feels like they've kind of ignored certain big patterns that they may have, some big self-limiting beliefs, a big chunk of pain. We have death. Aries and Scorpio energies could be significant, as well as Aquarius. We have the Seven of Swords. So it feels like this connection has essentially highlighted the things that they've been running from. There is a need for change. There is a need for growth. There is a need for what's not useful to them, what is holding them back, wearing them down. There's a need for that to be released, so that there is space for things that they want more of in their energy. We also have the Moon and the Queen of Cups as I stopped shuffling. And I feel like they recognize that you have a very big heart and a very gentle soul. And I think it's been, there was an opportunity for this to be very healing for them, but instead it feels like it made them scared of being authentic, being real, going in deep, because it feels like maybe that was a kind of connection you were craving, and they felt like they couldn't match that energy. We have Justice in reverse behind the Moon and the Queen of Cups, and then we have Temperance. So it feels like it could have gone one of both ways, but they chose to be in this King of Cups in reverse energy, where they weren't really connecting with their emotional body, where they were kind of just running or avoiding or repressing, not feeling enough of things, not wanting to deal with their own pain, just pushing it away instead of acknowledging it and working with it. So I think the biggest realization here is that they need change. I want to get some channeled messages now to see what this person would say to you, if they could say anything at all. We will get way more channeled messages in the extended reading, but I also want to get some for the main reading. For those of you who don't want to join us at the extendeds. What has this person realized? We have, I'm trying to let you go. I am afraid of change. Yeah. See, it's very interesting that this is coming up, because I think the last thing I said was that they realize that they need change. But that doesn't mean they don't feel some type of way about it. It doesn't mean it comes easily, and it doesn't mean it's done overnight. We have, there are too many obstacles. This person recognizes that they have quite a bit of work to do. And I don't think they want to bring you into it, or like keep you stuck while they do this work. We have, I don't want to hold you back. I don't want to let you go. There we have, I'm trying to let you go, and I don't want to let you go. The letting go energy doesn't seem like it comes from a place of wanting this or wanting to be separated from you, but it feels like an obligation almost, like it's necessary. I need to love myself more. There is that energy of growing a connection with their own self. We have, I'm a mess. We have, I want a new beginning. And we have, this is for the best. Bottom deck energy is, I need more time. So that message could be especially relevant if you are going through a breakup right now and they said they need time to grow and heal and work on themselves. Let's get some advice. I come to awaken sleeping hearts. Like a bolt of lightning from the astral world, I appear as inspiration, a dream, or idea. I fill your heart with creative light and illuminate your mind so that the universe and all creation can find a space within your soul. This is a time for dreaming big. The possibilities are endless. This could be a time of big growth for both of you, where you take some time to focus on your own independent path. We will look into their future actions in the extended, but regardless of what action is coming next, it's possible that this kind of pause between the two of you could be a good time to focus on kind of looking at what dreams you have for yourself, what desires you have for yourself on your own path, and recognizing that you're never really dreaming too big to be realistic. You can do a lot of things, many, many things, more things than you may feel like you can, more things than you may imagine. So I think maybe this is a time where both of you are getting to see your own potential, maybe daring to be a bit more brave, and daring to go after the things that you want for yourself first. We have, do not discount your imagination, for it is through an inspired thought that something beautiful is created. You will soon be inspired by an inner vision. Your imagination is real. It can and will become your reality if you trust in the power of love. The imagination is a magical and creative force full of endless possibility. Very interesting how these kind of play into the same energies. Is there anything else that wants to come through? We have, a new phase begins and brings with it new opportunities. This is a lucky and prosperous time where much that previously seemed impossible now is possible. Doors previously closed now open. Your world is full of lights. I feel like all of the messages kind of go together. And the final message we have is, as the seasons of life turn, remember your life and all your experiences are driven by the invisible wheels of love. Life is an eternal ocean, and death and rebirth are the rising and falling of the same wave. Attached to every ending is a new beginning. This also came out for pile 1. So for some of you, if you felt drawn to pile 1 as well, I could see this being like the past of pile 1. Or any other interpretation you may have, if you felt called to both piles. But if not, that's also fine. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile 2s. I will see some of you in the extended, hopefully. But if you're not joining us there, I am sending you lots of love already. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 3s, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized about you and your connection. We also will be getting some channeled messages and some advice at the end as well. And we also have an extended today, and we'll be looking into the future actions of the person on your mind and how this connection will be shaped in the future. And we will get a whole lot more channeled messages, and we will get additional advice, more in-depth advice for you as well. You don't have to watch the extended, but if you feel called to do so, the links will be down below. And with that out of the way, let's start with your reading. We have centering and truth. We have the 3rd house. Gemini energy could be significant. We have Saturn return. Gratitude, part of fortune increase. We have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. We have the otter, the owl. We have a personal issue reaches resolution, and we have expect powerful change. One thing I have to say is that this person sees you in their future. They want you in their future, and they put a lot of importance on having you in their future. This is someone who has sort of planned things out. Even if you haven't planned things out together, this is someone who kind of has an idea of where they would like this situation to go. And for most of you, where they would like it to go is deeper commitment. And I think this has been a newer realization that they've had. For some of you, this could be an ex, but for others of you, I think this is someone you are seeing right now, someone you're dating or someone you are already with. I'm getting 2 different scenarios where if this is an ex, this could be them wanting to reignite the relationship and reconcile with you and take it further. But if this is someone you are already with, I think this just relates to them wanting to deepen your connection, deepen it even more, like become completely vulnerable, completely open with each other. This is someone who wants to know you in and out, like anything there is to know about you, they would like to know it, they are interested. It's that kind of energy. There is a lot of communication, a lot of thinking about you, a lot of imagining the future, a lot of daydreaming about it, a lot of wondering which versions of your own selves you will grow into, how you will evolve together, how you will transform together, how your lives will transform together. This is someone who has a lot of big, chunky hopes and dreams, and I don't think it's very much like them. I don't think this is someone who plans a lot necessarily, in the sense that I think they may just tend to like go with the flow and want to take things one step at a time. But when it comes to you, I feel like they're so excited that they've kind of let go of that habit, of that approach, and they're just very, very excited and very, very invested. This person realizes that this is a connection that they would like to have for as long as possible. They are very grateful to have met you. They realize how lucky they are to have met you. They realize that you have a lot to offer. You have a lot of love. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of this, like, kind of just almost intoxicating and very intriguing energy to this person. They are so drawn to you. It feels like maybe you've introduced them to themes, concepts, ideas, or things that they didn't know or they didn't think of before. There is a lot of new novel energy that seems to come from you into their life. A lot of exciting energy as well, but also a lot of wisdom. So this could be someone that really loves to have really deep conversations with you about anything and everything. And this person, you are their partner. That's how they see you, regardless of where this connection is right now. And if this is an ex, maybe it seems a bit absurd that they would feel this way. But this is someone who is very much committed to you in some sense. What this commitment means may be different for every single one of you, but this is someone who is invested in you, who is willing to invest in you, and they recognize this. For some of you, you could have been going through a rough patch lately, especially if you are with this person. And if that's the case, one thing they've realized is that just one conflict does not define the entire relationship. Unless it's something like that you can't ever reconcile, a huge difference that will make it impossible to continue the relationship, which I don't think is the case here at all. I think they realize that with you, they're willing to face any challenge. They're willing to do whatever it takes. There is such a deep level of commitment here that it's like astonishing. And I don't think I have ever used that word in a reading before. I don't ever really use it normally. But I am that surprised. I am that impressed. This is like the kind of relationship where you're just best friends. And I think that's the most beautiful thing. And it's fun. It's light. You learn a lot from each other, but you enjoy each other so much as well. And I think maybe if you haven't had a rough patch with this person, one other thing that is coming through is you both could be healing from something from the past, something outside of this connection. Like maybe healing ideas around love and commitment in general. And this person has realized how motivated you make them to invest in you. This is 10 of Pentacles energy. Like, I'm not exaggerating. They see you in their big picture, and like, I think you're a very significant part of their big picture. The big picture of their life. So don't let any, like, I don't know, small conflicts or ups and downs that are entirely normal in relationships, don't let them discourage you. Especially if you've been in situations in the past where you felt unsafe. I think it's very important for this person that they cultivate a safe space with you for both of you. For some of you, you may both come from difficult pasts, but this person has every intention to support you, to encourage you, to heal besides you. And right as I was saying that, we have the Star coming out, and we have the Ace of Cups. I saw these while shuffling. Also, the Ace of Wands was showing itself. But look at this beautiful energy. We have the Ace of Cups, the Star, the High Priestess. Cancer, Aquarius energies could be significant, but they don't have to be. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse. They realize how strong and how energized they feel around you and by you. This is someone who just wants to love you. Like, it's a very pure energy. I don't think they have any hidden intentions. There are no hidden meanings in their actions or what they're saying. And I'm pointing this out because maybe in the past you've been in situations where you had to read between the lines a lot. I think with this person, there's nothing to read between the lines. Maybe just that they have so much more love for you than they let on, especially if there's someone who's a bit more reserved with their feelings. Not because they want to play you, not because they want to trick you, but because I think for some of you, this person is a bit shy. Like, it's a little bit of a blushy energy. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. They realize how fiercely they feel for you, that, like, it's a very interesting energy, because this is like, like, I will cut down anything in my way. Anything in my way to pile 3, I'm gonna cut it down. Anything that disturbs us, I'm gonna cut it down. Anything that makes pile 3 feel unsafe, I'm gonna cut it down. It's that kind of energy. But I can't help but shake off the feeling that this is someone who's still also kind of finding their own self. We have the Emperor coming through. So for some of you, they could be healing from something else from their past as well, or healing certain ideas about their own self, certain insecurities or fears that they may have about their own potential, about their own abilities, especially in terms of career or what they're able to provide, or their own skills. Something around that is highlighted. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Can we clarify the High Priestess? I just dropped a card. We have the Sun. We have the Sun. Leo energy could be significant. Aries energy could also be significant, but they don't have to be. You make this person so happy, and they want to make you happy. Like, it's this beautiful mix of learning from each other, growing with each other, and just making each other happy, adding to each other's happiness. Like being the cherry on top to each other's cupcakes. Bottom deck energy is the Nine of Pentacles, and right behind it we have Judgment. We also have the Hermit and Death. So for some of you, especially if this is an ex, this person has realized how much they value you and how much they value this relationship. If this is someone you've been with, I don't think this is a new, like, you've been with for a while, or like that you're on good terms with in general, and not an ex. I think they had this awareness already for a while. I don't think that's a new realization that they really, really value you. But I think what's new for them is how much they see themselves willing to invest in this, because I don't think this is someone who invests in connections recklessly. I think this is someone who thinks about what they want, who decides carefully what they want and what they're going to invest into, and I think they feel very connected to you and very good investing in you and your connection together as well. Is there anything else that wants to come through? Oh, I dropped another card. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. The Seven of Swords in reverse for me can talk about coming clean. So if you've had an argument, or if this is an ex, I think this person realizes that they can just be real with you, that they can just come clean, be honest, tell their side, and you're both going to figure it out together. And it's going to be okay in the end. At least that's what's coming through in terms of their perception. For some of you, something feels a bit unresolved. So maybe there are physical obstacles between the two of you for some of you, like distance, or someone's career is taking up too much of their time. And for others of you, it could be that someone doesn't want the two of you to be like together. There could be a third party situation. Doesn't have to be like a romantic kind of thing. It could just be someone's like mom or something. So don't be alarmed if you don't know this person to be dating and you're not with them. Don't worry. I don't mean to alarm you. Not every third party situation will mean like they're dating someone or there's a romantic connection involved. It can just be anything. It can just be anything, literally. It doesn't have to be a person. It can just be a hobby, even. It could be anything. And the reason I felt like third party, like mentioning it, is because I was playing with the cards and I saw the vulture. And it kind of just gave me a very, like, uneasy feeling, like, I don't know. So I felt like mentioning it, essentially, but if that is not your situation, then it just is not your situation. But essentially, if there are obstacles between the two of you, this person wants them gone. Like, they realize it's going to be okay, but they're done with the obstacles. They don't want them anymore. They don't want to be affected by them. It feels like very straightforward. I'm done with this kind of energy. Not done with you, but done with kind of anything getting in the way of the two of you. We have, I don't know what your intentions are. I would take this especially if you're dealing with an ex. We have, I'm not the person I used to be. We have, I feel pressured. Which brings me back to that vulture energy. Maybe someone feels pressured, like in their career or in their current circumstances in general. Feels like something external is kind of making things more difficult for some of you. And this person wants it gone. They realize that very clearly. We have, you are my sunshine. I'm sorry. I know I hurt you. And especially because I'm getting kind of divided energies here, I will give the reminder to only take the messages that resonate with you and your situation, that sit right with your intuition, and completely ignore the rest. We have, please try to understand my perspective. I was way too many. Can we get them one by one, please? What message wants to come through? I don't want to give too much away. I heard about my plans. I don't know how to express myself. I'm losing my voice. Which I guess is very fitting with this message. We have, I still have some lessons to learn as well. And we also have, I really admire you. This connection is not just in your head. And you have the most beautiful mind. Bottom deck energies, my intentions are pure. I think this is someone who, when they mess up, they can own up to having messed up. I think they have like a working mechanism for that, where they know there is always room for growth. Like they've kind of been making peace with the idea that they don't have to be perfect and they don't need to have everything figured out. We'll just get some advice from this deck, from this very hard to shuffle deck. But I think it's cute that they're heart-shaped. And then we will, well, I'll see some of you in the extended, where we'll get way more channeled messages, some more advice, and where this connection is headed, shaped by this person's actions. But let's see what we have. We have, through the power of love, all shall unfold in the most perfect way for all concerned. This card is a blessing from an angel who is here to reassure you that all is well. There's no need to worry. All is bathed in a sea of divine love. Well, if that is not reassuring, because not all of these messages in this deck are like this, I promise you. Is there any other message that wants to come through? This card signifies expansion and the accomplishment and success that come as a result of doing what you love, or something that has great meaning for you. You're creating something of lasting value that will be enjoyed by others for years to come. A strong sense of teamwork and fulfillment abounds. Ooh. Is there anything else that wants to come through? Maybe a third reassuring message. Oh, they're so... okay. All right. You are currently too close to see things clearly. Detach a little and you will start to see things from a higher perspective. By emotionally detaching from this situation, a simple solution also becomes clear. I think it's, in this connection especially, I think it's good to consider the bigger picture, especially if you have like smaller arguments and you feel like it's like 0 to 100 really quick. Like you're doing great, and then suddenly there's this one minor argument and now everything is going wrong and it's never going to be resolved and it's not going to be okay. I feel like there is this like narrative of relationships that I see a lot, maybe represented more often as like this perfect relationship, and for a relationship to be healthy and good it needs to be perfect, and you can't like argue, or you can't have different opinions, or if you do, you always like fully be zen about it. I feel like that's not real. It's not what a relationship, that's not how a real relationship works. And like, I don't know, I think even if you know that that's not how relationships work, sometimes through exposure to these like perfect and not real relationships, or like, I don't know, if you see on social media, oh, everyone else is so happy, oh, like they seem like they never have problems. Even if you know consciously that the things you're exposed to are not what is real, I think it's sometimes easy to forget. Maybe through a mix of past experiences where things went wrong and being a bit hypervigilant towards certain cues, and a mix of like people sharing only the very best parts of their relationships, I think sometimes it's easy to forget that relationships take a lot of work, and just love is, it doesn't make everything perfect. Doesn't mean things always work out. You always need to put in work. And that doesn't mean staying in a situation that is like that doesn't make you feel safe or comfortable. But in a situation like this, where I feel that this is someone who is supportive, someone who wants to create a safe space with you, I think it's important to remember the importance of teamwork and work in general, work that goes into understanding each other. Because I think every person, like, you're never going to agree 100% on everything with another person. If that is a thing, I have not heard of it. So I think it's a very low chance, but that's okay. You don't need to agree on everything. You don't need to never have fights. It's okay. It's okay as long as you see the big picture, and as long as the big picture feels like a safe place where you can be yourself, then all the little details can be figured out. But yes, on this note, I will end your reading, and if you want to hear more about this situation, I will see you at the extended. If not, I am already sending you lots of love. Take care, and bye.